Shalom, welcome, Mr. GreatMillStone GMSLondon, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GreatMillStone, and honors that there to the brothers on the highways and byways, teaching the truth in all sincerity. Okay, this is a quick video on something when the brothers posted up in the chat. Okay, which is interesting. Okay, you see it here, man. This is Peter left his career as a fisher to follow Yahweh Shai, the Lord. Alright, and it explains what a fisherman was or is, typically in those days, and even in this time. It's seen as a real hard man's, real man's job, man. Because of the harshness of the job. Now, Peter was such a man who was a fisherman, right? Scripture tells you. Okay, and here it just goes on, just a brief description about, what that entailed, right? It says, fishermen at that time were gruff, unkempt, vile, shabbily dressed, often used vulgar language, okay, because they're men's men, man. They're not, eloquent and, so-called highly educated, man. They're, out there in the world doing a treacherous job, okay, surrounded by, like-minded men, man. Okay, so they're just being men. Okay, with all the vulgar, conversation that goes on, between men. Okay, you're not gonna worry about, society as a whole and how they're viewed and all that kind of stuff, man, because they're at sea, man. So they ain't concerned about things like that. Okay, they're just being men. Okay, but I said they were unkempt. Okay, gruff. Okay, shabbily dressed and often use vulgar language. Okay, meaning, hey, the men of the Lord, man, they weren't, this idea of the perfect human being as, spoke eloquently, dressed nicely and all this kind of stuff. That's not how the prophets were. Okay, people are trying to portray them as such today in this modern era. Okay, but the prophets of old were not like that. Okay, they were vulgar men, some of them. Because you got disciples, that came in all around the world, coming from different backgrounds. Okay, so you're gonna have variety amongst the prophets and amongst the disciples. Okay, but Peter, who is the head of the church, was not such a man. Okay, because they like to condemn us because of how we present ourselves, because of our, the way we look, the way we speak. Okay, like that means anything when it comes to this truth. The truth is the truth, right? And no matter how we present it, the truth is still the truth. Okay, but people like to hear things the way they like to hear things, otherwise they won't accept it. Well, that's your problem. It's you guys' problem that you can't get it just because of how science sounds, man. But there's a scripture for that, man. All right. Let's grab it in Matthew chapter 11, verse 6. It says, "And blessed is he who shall not be offended in me," man. Okay. So, we speak the truth, man. And at the end of the day, whether you like how we deliver it or not, man, it's still the truth, and you should still accept it to be the truth. If you believe that is the truth. Okay, rather than have problems with the person delivering the message, man, you should concentrate more on the message. Okay? Not all of us brothers, eloquent, great orators and all that kind of stuff, man. Sometimes we just bring it, raw and bold and very blunt. Okay, but it's the same message, regardless of how it's presented. Okay, but you find an excuse, a reason why you don't want to listen to us, or automatically say because of the way we come with it, our word is wrong. Okay, well that's very ignorant. Okay, for lack of better words, man. You really just don't want to accept the truth. Okay, so blessed is he who should not be offended me, who's not offended in this word. Okay, and this is not about us, man. This ain't about the person delivering the message, man. It's about the message. Okay, so really, you just ultimately you just offended, of the word. Okay, but going back into this, said the first, it's like the fishermen of the first century were a man's man. They were full of vigor, and had boisterous tempers. Okay, and we all know what Peter did to that centurion, man, that came to grab up the Lord, man. And, cut man's ear off, right? Okay, so they were men's men, man. They were willing to fight. They were willing to die. Okay, they're boisterous men, right? So this is perhaps why James and his brother John were called the sons of thunder. So theirs was a rough life, since fishing was a very physically demanding job. They must have been somewhat fearless too, because some of the storms that quickly came upon the Sea of Galilee were fierce and furious. They often caught the fishermen by surprise and could easily capsize the 20 to 30 foot boats they used. Okay, so like I said, this is interesting, man, because it gives you kind of insight to how Peter, John and James, how they would have acted, man. Okay, because people like to demonize the way we act, when in reality it's no different to how other men of the Lord have acted in the past, man. And Peter's, like I say, he's the head of the church, so it's a very good example. How you shouldn't be judging people based on how they speak, rather than not on how they speak, but what they speak should be be more of the focus. Okay, when you guys don't want us to be men of the Lord, fine, but you can't say it just because of how we act. Okay, it has, you have to break it down in the scriptures, man. Okay, because prophets came in many varieties, let's put it, man, and not all the same. We come with different attitudes and characteristics, personalities. We all come in different forms, man. We're not all the same. Okay, but you can't demonize us just based upon how we act, man. That's some bullshit. Cause you just find an excuse not to hear us, man. That's all it is. Okay. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 6. It says, "But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge." Okay, we know the truth. We got the truth, 100% truth. Okay, and yeah, yes, we don't all come in the majority of us don't come in an eloquent fashion. Okay, because we're just not. Okay, this is just what it is, man. Okay, we're not trying to, appease people right here, man. We're simply trying to deliver you the message. Okay, whether you hear or forbear, that's what we're here to do, man. Okay, not cater to everyone's likes and dislikes about personal characteristics, man. Okay, and vocabulary, man. Okay, we're not here for that. Okay, it says but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. Okay, so that's when we bring out the truth for you to know and to understand. Okay, but like I say, if you want to put hurdles in front of that, to stop yourself receiving the word, that's on you, man. Okay. Acts 4 verse 13 says, "Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled, and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Yahushua." Okay, Peter and John, they weren't brought up in the so-called, for lack of a better word, the educational system in terms of the scriptures and stuff like that. They would have had a very basic education, and like I said, their profession was, fishermen. Okay, so they would have gone straight into work, okay, at a youngish age, and that's what they would have done, man. It's not like today where, you're forever going through academics before you actually do anything with your life. Okay, these men, they would have had their education and they would have went to work. Only those particular, certain particular men would continue studying, the scriptures and so on and so forth, man. Okay, that would have been your scribes and your Pharisees, man. Okay, which, dedicated themselves to the learning, to the teachings, right? To the scriptures. Okay, but men like Peter, men like John, okay, they weren't educated to that degree. Okay, so they went to work. Okay, so they deemed them as unlearned and ignorant men. Okay, because they didn't have an educational, a background of the scriptures like that. Okay, they weren't taught by, the institutions and that. They weren't taught by the synagogues. Okay, but they realized, through what was being revealed is that, their knowledge has come from Yahweh Shai. Okay, which is knowledge above all what the scribes and Pharisees knew in their educational systems, man. And it's more than anyone knows today in their educational systems. Okay, so you can't be judging a person about how they went to university and got a degree in theology and all this kind of stuff. They went to these seminary schools and all this kind of shit, man. It doesn't account to nothing in regards to this truth, man. And it never has done, man. The Lord, his disciples, okay, they didn't attend none of that. Okay, the Spirit was working with them. Okay, and that's a higher level of education than, all these, scribes and Pharisees of these times, and these so-called educated, theologians of this time, man. Okay, you had educated men in these times that had to reevaluate and reassess everything that they knew. Okay, Paul being one of them. Okay, he had to be born again. He had to scrap everything that he'd known, basically. Discard the things that are irrelevant or not true. Okay, but he had to be born again. He had to start from the ground up again, man. And learning through Yahweh Shai. Okay. This is James chapter 2 verse 1. It says, My brethren have not the faith of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. For if they come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring and in goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, Sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, Stand thou there, or sit under my footstool, are ye not then partial in yourselves and become judges of evil thoughts? Okay, so you're not meant to be looking at us on how we dress, how we look, how we really speak. As long as what we speak is true and is right, that is all your concern should be. Okay, we don't give respect to people, just because of how they look, how they present themselves. Okay, the critical focus is about the truth, the word. Okay, but a lot of people are deceived by the appearance of things. Okay, they rather give ear to those that are like this example here, the man in goodly apparel. Okay, and there's many guys like that, man. Israelites and pastors and all that kind of stuff there, with the sharp suits and expensive get-ups and shit. People are attracted to that. But what about the poor man? Okay, what about the meek? Okay, do you overlook them? Okay. This is Mark chapter 1 verse 6. It says, And John was clothed with camel's hair and with a girdle of a skin about his loins, and he did eat locusts and wild honey. Okay, and this is speaking about John the Baptist. Okay, he weren't dressed in no goodly apparel, man. He was clothed with rough garments, man, camel's hair. Okay, and he was eating, what would we consider, unusual things. Okay, eating locusts and wild honey. Okay, out there in the wilderness, man. Okay, so he would have seemed like a bit of an oddball, someone that doesn't quite fit into society.